one was definitely one of my all-time faves of the entire book. So we have Raphael and Lily Chin, two of my favorite characters, and they come and they tell Brother Zachariah, look, we need your help. There is going to be a shipment coming in and there's a Shadowhunter boy, but like, let's not even talk about him. There is Yin Fin on this boat that is coming to New York. You know, Jem, like he's just like, we don't like that Yin Fin. This is before Jace came to the Institute. This is when he was like on his way to the Institute. So we see Isabel and Alec before Jace even shows up. I loved seeing the interaction that Alec and Isabel had with Raphael, because you know, Alec is like all interested. He's like, oh, he's cool. I think he even thought Raphael was cute. They're like whispering, and you know, vampire hearing, like he can hear everything that Alec and Isabel are saying. Oh, he's amazing. Don't go near him. I think vampires are gross. We hear like a little conversation of Jace like talking to this lady, and he's like, oh, what are the Lightwoods like? What is the mom like? It's so weird like seeing little Jace. You can tell by the way he's like talking that he's unsure about going to meet these people and like living with them too. I really love seeing the interaction with Alec and Isabel when Jace comes downstairs like after everyone's like in bed, and he has like a wound, and Alec and Isabel are like comforting him. We also learn that on Jim's staff is W and H carved in it, which means William Herondale. He carved it into the staff after his like first night in the City of Bones because Will angers him back to Jem, because now he's Brother Zachariah. I also really like the interaction he had with Jace. He's unknowingly talking to Will's descendants. This novella was my favorite out of the entire book. Jem and Tessa write to Alec asking for his help, asking him to come and help them in Buenos Aires. And the Institute there is just like not the best. They hate downworlders. They're not even helping their own like Shadowhunter orphans that are like running around the streets. And there Alec meets Raphael, Rafe. So in the Dark Artifices, we know that Alec and Magnus have a child named Max, but then we also see their other child, Raphael. This novella was how Alec found Raphael and how they adopted him. It was just so sweet to see. This was my favorite ever just because of Raphael. I loved getting to learn more about Lily Chin and her backstory. I also loved seeing her little interactions with Jem, because she thinks like Jem's just like the hottest guy ever. Brother Snackariah. The banter just continues. Like she has so many awesome names for him. Brother like Snackariah, Brother Six-Packariah. Also my favorite, once you go Zachariah, you never go Backariah. Holy crap. Like what the crap. She also hints that she met with Shadowhunters like in London back in the 1900s. So I'm thinking she might be one of the characters in Chain of Gold. Jem and Tessa and Alec and all of them, they go to the Shadow Market and they meet this Queen of the Wolves. Alec basically tells her like, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help these women because all these like werewolf women are being like stolen and they're disappearing. I think Alec will be a really strong leader. I mean, he just wants to help. Like he just wants to help everyone. And I think with Alec as the leader of the Shadowhunters, like I feel like, because the Shadowhunters are essentially like just like so corrupt. A lot of them have so much hate for the Downworlders. Alec as the leader, the Shadowhunters will be less corrupt. I think things are gonna get better with Alec as the leader. Like I said, I loved seeing Raphael. He didn't like anyone. He didn't even like Alec. He kept calling him an idiot, and Alec was just like, what does that word mean? What does that word mean? It means idiot, Alec. He's calling you an idiot. But by the end of the story, Rafe comes to trust Alec and he comes to love him. There's also a moment in the book where Alec texts Jace and he's like, I miss you, and Jace is like, miss you too. But then he's like, are you in some kind of trouble? Did you get hit in your head? And then Clary's just like, why did Jace just get a text from you and like look really happy, but then now he looks worried? Parabatais are just so sweet together. I love seeing those interactions. One of my favorite parts is when Alec is like saving all these werewolf women and Joaquin is there, and Joaquin's like, look, they're gone, like the place is burning down. But Alec's like, look, I'm not going to leave these women in there to die. You can leave, but if you do, are you truly a Shadowhunter? I love seeing like after that Joaquin becomes the Institute leader of Buenos Aires, and he also like has a thing for Juliet, the werewolf queen. Like that was so cute. Like Ooh, Joaquin. One of the most heartwarming scenes was when Raphael went back with Alec to New York to live with Magnus, and he just like runs to go meet Magnus. This part made me cry. This part right here made me cry. It was when Magnus and Raphael, like they were talking, and then he's like, okay, I need to go talk to Alec. And Raphael is like, don't let me see you and then have to go away into the loneliness that is the world without you. Please, please keep me. I'll be good if you would just keep me. Like, this poor little boy. I'm so happy that Alec and Magnus got to adopt him and give him like a loving home. It's also funny how Rafe wants to be like a magician, just like, you know, Magnus. Like, he wants to have magic, but then Max also wants to be a shadow hunter. I hope in the Wicked Powers we see more of Max and Rafe, and like maybe, you know, Rafe becomes like a really good magician. So this one, we learned so much more about Rosemary Herondale and how she came to be in love with Jack, and how their union formed Kit, and how she died. In the Dark Artifices, we don't really learn a lot about Kit's mother, because like it's at the very end of like Queen of Air and Darkness that we learn that she was the heir. What I really loved about this story, I loved like getting from Rosemary's point of view, her meeting Jack and falling in love. We learned so much that her parents, like her whole entire life, they would move like every single year, because they would move to so many places because all these fae, like they were after her. I just want to know, like, how do they continue to, like, to find them? How do they continue to find these people? Is it like the fae in them that is like calling to the writers of Manon? She finally learns of what her parents have gone through trying to keep her safe when she does have Kit, because she like loves him so much. And we learn this through Tessa, because Tessa is able to like go through Rosemary's like memories, and so she's able to like learn all this stuff. Tessa is like flickering in and out of Tessa and Rosemary, and at the end we finally realize that because it was literally because Tessa was pregnant. Tessa having a baby is like the sweetest thing ever. I remember when I learned it in Queen of Air and Darkness that Tessa was pregnant, like, oh my gosh, there's gonna be like a little Tessa Herondale Carstairs running around. As Tessa's like flickering out and like they don't know if she's gonna survive this, Jem is finally realizing what Will went through all the times that Jem was sick. And this is just, anytime somebody brings up Will and like Will in the past tense because Will is dead, it just like breaks my heart. But also this like novella got me thinking, like, Tessa is pregnant and Jem is mortal now. Tessa's gonna have to go through her life, like she's married to Jem, they're gonna have children, and then Jem is gonna get old, her children's gonna get old, like they're gonna die. This is like Will all over again. How is she gonna do this? How is she going to watch Jem die and her children die again? Throughout her years, like she knew like, oh, Jem is there, like Jem is my constant, because Jem was a silent brother and like Jem was always there, but like now that he's mortal, one day he will die. How is Tessa gonna go on without Jem or Will? It's so sad. And then at the very end we get this like sweet little scene where Tessa and Jem are like, oh, like we're having a baby, and then they close their eyes and they say Will, and Will says, a new soul made of you and Tessa. I can hardly wait to meet such a paragon. And they're like, oh, do you see him too? What do you mean, do you see it? Is this real? Like, is he really here? Will? This novella is all about Ty and Livy. Livy is a ghost, and I don't know why, but like in Queen of Air and Darkness, when Livy did become a ghost, it just didn't seem like Livy. So I was like, oh, she's a ghost, but is it really Livy? Because she seems so distant in Queen of Air and Darkness. In this one, we got it from her point of view, so she seemed more real. It seemed more like Livy. First off, I just feel so bad for Livy because she's like trapped as a ghost. Nobody can see her but Magnus and Kit and Ty. She's just so lonely. How are we going to fix this? She feels so unhappy because everyone else got to live but her. So Ty is living at the Scholomance and he is keeping journals about Livy. He's kind of like a shadow hunter scientist, like having all these observations and like writing them down. So I don't know if this means anything, but there is this one part where they're at the Scholomance. Livy sees like something carved into the headboard. It says, I did not choose this life, and it's written in 1904. I couldn't connect this to any of the other characters, but if you guys know, like leave a comment down below, who do you guys think that this is? And why do you think they wrote that? Because that seems like a little shady. Like, what do you mean I did not choose this life? There's also this funny part where Ty is like, oh, like the Lynx, like they're supposed to haunt the area. And Libby's like, ha. Same. I don't know what it is with Cassandra Clare and cats. It seems like there's like a lot of cats in the Shadowhunter world. Like there's Church, there's Chairman Meow, and now there's Irene. I wonder if this cat will live forever, just like Church. Church is literally like hundreds of years old. One of the most intense parts about this novella was when Livy went to go talk to Magnus. It was when Tessa was like about to give birth, and she was thinking about shrinking down and like possessing Tessa and Jim's child in order for her to like live. And she was about to do it, and I was like, no, like no, like let's not let this happen. Thankfully, she didn't do it, but like I thought she was going to. Magnus was mad when he showed up. He was like, Livy? I know what you were about to do. If you guys have read the Shadowhunter, Tales from Shadowhunter Academy, you know that George Lovelace died and then he became a ghost. So like maybe she'll meet him. Maybe they'll be best friends. Maybe she needs to meet other ghostly best friends so she can have friends and so she won't be lonely. Then she also sneaks up on Idris, and you know, Cassandra Clare is a genius, because if Livy can somehow get into Idris and see what all these people are doing, like Zara and Manuel, then like, holy crap, like she's our in. Like she can help us find out everything, because Zara and them, they're like spying on everyone, which is just creepy and just like, why? And they're planning an attack. We have like a few years till the Wicked Powers, so let's just let that sit, that they're planning an attack and they're spying on everyone. Now this one was a little creepy, I have to say, because creepy little Jace, that is not our Jace, and he goes by Janice. Can we just talk about how everyone hits on Jem in these books? In this novella, there's like a fairy woman, and she's like, you seem so hauntingly sad and so hauntingly attractive. Thank you. I'm married. Yes, Jem, you're married, but you're also really hot. So you're also very fictional. So I need to remember that. So let's just talk about Janice. This Jace was so creepy. He was so bloodthirsty. He was trying to like manipulate this couple. And then as soon as like the couple was like, I don't know if we should even trust this guy. He's just like, oh, just like, let me just cut my losses now. And he just like kills them just like that. What? Like our Jace would not do that.
Oh, whatever. Just go kill these people. I don't need them anymore.
This Jace, his Clary died, his Parabatai died. Pretty much like everyone that was near and dear to him died. Like he killed Maris. This is what would have happened if everything in City of Heavenly Fire went wrong. That's a really scary thought. It was really sad whenever I was reading this and he would like talk about Clary and how much he missed Clary, and he was just like, my darling, why did you have to die? Ash has this ability where people just automatically like love him and like want to trust him, want to protect him. And so Jace feels that towards Ash, and Ash feels like a love towards Jace. I still feel like Ash is a good person. Like, I don't know, I've heard people say that he's probably gonna be like the new villain, but like I don't want him to be. I don't want him to be another Sebastian. I want him to like come back to us, and I want him to meet Clary without the weird Jace guy, and I want him to bond with her, and I want him to bond with the real Jace who's not crazy. I want him to finally like feel loved. I want him to be the Jonathan that Sebastian could never be. So I'm holding out hope. I still have hope for him. Now Jace has this, Janice has this new plan. He's gonna be with the Seelie Queen now. Like they're working, they're in cahoots. Like why can't the Seelie Queen just leave us alone for once? Why can't she just stay out of everyone's business? Why can't she just like reach out to the Shadowhunters for once and be a good person and just be like, hey, there's this weird guy here, and he's from Thule, and he's after you guys. Like, truce? It was so creepy when Janice was like creeping up on Max and Alec and all of them, and he was like gonna kill Max. Like he was going to do it. And he also like kissed Clary, like creeped up on Clary too and pretended to be Jace. But like, isn't this Jace like older than our Jace? He kisses her and he like, it says something like he has like hungry lips, like starved lip. Starved lips, that's what it was. Like he's starved lips, and she kisses him and she's like, There's this one part where he sees Simon, and Simon's like a shadow hunter now, and Simon's on the phone with Jace, and I just love this friendship that Jace and Simon have. It's so great. It's everything I've ever wanted. And Simon and him are just like talking about like video games. He's like, yeah, keep bragging. It's what you do best. Oh, that interaction, like hearing how far they've come. Because remember, Jace in City of Bones like hated Simon. Now they're like best friends. I love it so much. I also love seeing Jem and Tessa. This was one of my theories. If Jem and Tessa had a boy, then they would probably name him after Will, obviously. But they had a girl and they named her Wilhelmina. So they named her after Will. I also loved when Jem was talking to Kit, and basically like Kit is like their son. Kit for some reason has just like never felt really loved. Johnny like never showed him love, which is something that is like really kind of confusing to me because he was so in love with Rosemary. So it's just weird to me that he didn't transfer any of that love onto Kit, because that's all Rosemary wanted, was for Kit to feel loved and for Kit to like be alive. Jem is now pretty much gonna be like his adoptive father, I guess, and he told him that he loved him, and it was just like a sweet little moment between them. I'm really scared but excited for the Wicked Powers because Janice, Thule Jace, is going to try and get with Clary. He's gonna try and murder his Jace. He's got something going on with the Seelie Queen. This is not gonna be good. So guys, that is my thoughts on Ghost of the Shadow Market. I know this was probably like a really long video, but I just had so much to say about it, and this book has gotten me so excited for Chain of Gold. It's not even funny. I need Chain of Gold in my hands now, and I'm so excited for the Wicked Powers, but like I said, also scared because this is like leading up to so much stuff. It's so weird to like think about, like one day there will be no more Shadowhunter books coming out. Like the Wicked Powers is supposed to be like the last series in the Shadowhunter world. Can you believe that? Like the last one. Like no more Jace Herondale, no more Will Herondale, no more Herondales, no more Shadowhunter crew. Like that will be a sad day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would love to see your thoughts, everything about anything that you've thought about any of these novellas. Are you guys excited for Chain of Gold or the Wicked Powers? Leave all your excitement down in the comments down below. So that is it for today. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!